if it'll eat away at the fibrosis in the lungs, allowing fuller breaths. Oh, here's another story from an MD, Dr. Warden, Winston Salem, has a patient who fell into a ditch of uranium isotope 131 in Oakridge, Tennessee when he was a kid. The kid who fell in there with him died 2 days later. The fellow who rescued them from the pit died within 5 years. 63 years old now. He's the oldest living person being exposed to that much radiation. No one has ever survived being exposed to that much radiation. He is head to toe scar tissue. Not only is the scar tissue in his muscles, it is in all of his internal organs. So much so, his pulmonary function was so bad, he could only go up 2 steps before he had to rest for about 10 minutes, before he could go up the other 2 steps, and then he was so winded and out of breath, he could, so on and so forth. Dr. Ward put him on the Vitalzyme just to take care of the inflammation and the pain this patient was having, not actually thinking about the fibrinolytic action of the enzymes. 7 days later, the patient comes back in and says, I want you to do a pulmonary function test. I just did spirometry on you 7 days ago. Why do you want another test? No, I want you to do the test. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. 3 days after I started taking whatever this stuff was that you gave me, I went up and down the steps twice, and I didn't have to stop. I walked a mile with my wife. She always has to walk it alone. I could never go with her. Walked a mile with my wife. Not only that, I came home and I did 15 minutes on the treadmill. I actually came in for a prescription for Viagra. This fellow wanted to start his life over again. He was getting rid of so much scar tissue, the doc said his urine looked almost like Jell-O, because there's so much stuff coming out. He actually had to back him off on the enzymes so as not to overload him. Not to overload the kidneys and getting rid of all the scar tissue. He was just dissolving away. The pulmonary function test, by the way, 50% improvement pulmonary function in 7 days. He was taking the minimum dose.